Friends, neighbours and family members of Springboks hooker Mbongeni Mbonambi say they are not surprised that Bongi was part of the World Cup winning team. Mbonambi, originally from Bethlehem in the Eastern Free State, was integral in the Rassie Erasmus side, bringing the cup home for the third time. His parents explain that from as early as 10 years, their son had great interest in rugby. South Africa beat England 32-12 to lift the Web Ellis trophy. Our reporter Thabiso Radebe spoke to his family.
We are at an area where one of the Springboks was born. We are talking about Mbongeni Mbonambi. We are here at his home in Bethlehem. He's one of the players who were in the national team that won the World Cup 32-12, where we beat England in the World Cup. But fortunately, the mother is here. We're going to talk to the parents of Bongi. The parents, his father and his mother are here to sort of talk to us and share stories about the boy, this player, this magnificent player who is one of the players who won the World Cup. Me Nombulelo is going to be talking to us. Just talk to us about the feeling. How do you feel about your son being in the national team that won the World Cup?
Thank you very much, Ntate. We feel very much excited. As a family, as the community of Buhlukung and South Africa as a whole, they have achieved a lot, and it was great for them bringing the gold home.
Now, most of our players, most of our boys at home are playing soccer, and now we're talking about Bongi and rugby. How did it come about?
Bongi was privileged to attend a Model C school here at the local town in Bethlehem. From there, he was introduced to rugby. As you know, white schools are much popular in rugby. So he had white friends who introduced him into these sports. And then from there, he never looked back. He started at Tudor and then went back to Voortrekker until in September when he was spotted at Craven Week in Pietermaritzburg and went to the Blue Bulls.
We know that rugby is a contact sport. Players are getting injuries there. Were you not scared about the boy playing for a national team, or rather playing rugby, that my boy will get hurt?
As a professional nurse, I've seen these injuries, like neck injury, which may result into paralysis. That's the first question I asked the manager of the Blue Bulls when he wanted to contract my son, that I was afraid that he was getting to get injured and at an amateur level. What then? But he reassured me that these guys are going to be conditioned. At 18 years, 21 years, you won't believe your son, how big he will be and how strong he will be. And really, they built him up, and Bongi was strong and very few injuries.
Just talk to us about the support from neighbours here, from the people of Bethlehem. Yesterday, I'm told that there were celebrations. How did it feel, and what did they say to you, especially for your boy playing for the national team?
That it was overwhelming. All the neighbours were here. I've never seen such support. I thought maybe, this thing was not so big. But yesterday, I've seen them. All the neighbours were here, around here. We were celebrating the win of the Springboks.
I'm told that celebrations will continue here in Bethlehem.
They are going to continue forever until they bring back the cup home. Unfortunately, Bethlehem is a small place, and I'm sure they are going to be touring with the cup in big cities. So we'll maybe try and get to Joburg to see the cup when they are touring around with it.
All right, that's Me Nombulelo Mbonambi, the mother to one of our players who did well yesterday. We are still excited. We are still celebrating. I'm going to be bringing in the father here of Mbongeni Mbonambi to talk to us about the boy. Papa, earlier on when I was talking to you, I was saying to you, rugby, how did it come about? Were you playing rugby?
No. I was not playing rugby. I was playing soccer. School athletics, again gymnasium, weightlifting, and not rugby. No.
You must have been proud yesterday, especially when the team. Let's talk about the Wales game. That was one of the games that actually we were anxious to win that particular game to sort of qualify for the finals against England. The game last week against Wales. How do you feel? How did you feel about that particular game? Seeing your boy there, he was one of the people rooting for his players in the field of play.
That match between the Wales, I was so stressed and afraid because Wales were strong, were too much strong. Us on this side, even though Faf like to kick too much, but Bongi tried by all means to stop them, tackle them down. It was a tough match, truly speaking, but fortunately enough, we did make it. They did make it and then go to the semi-finals.
Papa, you're talking about soccer here, and Bongi is playing rugby. Did you give him that support that he needed when he said that now I want to play rugby?
Yes, I do. I do give him that support because Bongi, his body was from his when he was growing up, he's got a big body, and the strength that he have is a natural one. So this physical one is just adding on top of it. And then when I do talk to him about soccer, he told me that he's too big for a soccer. He cannot run like that. So he liked rugby, and then from the Truda Kester, he started there. There was a teacher that encouraged him. I can't remember the name. Who's that teacher? Mr.
Radebe was the principal.
Yeah, Mr. Radebe was the principal. So they encouraged Bongi to go on with that kind of a sport. Even though we are not sure, like the mother said, she was afraid because rugby is a dangerous sport.
I'm going to go back to the mother here, talking about to talk about Bongi during his young age. How was he as a young boy growing up in the streets?
A very humble boy. He never had many friends in the community, as I said. So every time he would be getting to his white friends in town, it would be the swimming pool party, the pyjama party, attending with his friends. And he was always at school. Coming back, he was tired. And then we would fight doing the homework because he would be tired. He would just want to sleep.
As you know that currently South Africa, we are facing tensions regarding racial tensions. Were you not worried like he befriending, he's becoming friends with white people, white scholars there at school?
I can tell you now, it never did anything to Bongi that he had white friends. He went along with them very well. Even now, he's still having white friends and they are getting along very well. I never had a complaint from him that, Mom, I was bullied by this one, or I was rejected or discriminated against. Never. Color doesn't mean anything to Bongi.
Okay. Me Nombulelo Mbonambi, the parents of Mbongeni Mbonambi, playing in the national team that won the World Cup yesterday in Yokohama in Japan. Yes, of course, South Africa is still celebrating. Any preparations for celebrations?
Coming very soon. We're still waiting for the gold to come now locally here and see what we do. But we're promising you very much big celebrations, especially in December when Bongi visits home.
Are we going to have Brian beer?
Yes,
lots.
obvious.